Hi, lovely to have you here. Welcome to the Electro Revolution channel. My name is Michael and I'm a car and tech enthusiast. In this series of episodes, we're going through free EV charging. Of course, for current EV owners and potential EV owners, ones that are looking to buy an EV and wondering, can I actually charge the car for free? The answer is yes. I invite you to go watch episode 1 because this is episode 2, where in episode 1, we cover tip number 1, which is shopping centers. And we also cover a discussion on one of my friends who owns a Tesla Model 3. He lives in a unit, doesn't have the charging capability within the unit, doesn't have solar power or solar panels on the roof. So he uses the free EV charging facilities and we give him as an example. So in this particular episode, we're going through tips 2, 3, and 4. For tip 2, we're going to cover local council car parks. For tip 3, we're looking at hotels, tourist locations, and universities. And for tip 4, we're going through road trip freebies. So I really hope you enjoy this episode. New South Wales is very supportive of EVs, unlike many of the other states that we've got in Australia. And that's a great thing for New South Wales residents. So you'll find in council car parks, free EV charging. Again, in the council car parks, sometimes they'll charge you depending on the time of day, the business of the suburb, the busyness of the council car park. Sometimes they'll charge you for being there, but they still offer the free charging. Of course, you pay the toll for parking there. Some other council car parks, absolutely not. You get the free parking and you get the free charging. Again, typically it'll be about 7 kilowatts on the AC cable, and most of those council car parks will not supply the cable. You'll actually need to bring your own cable. Now, they're not too expensive if you know about the type 2 to type 2 connectors, female to male. You can find them anywhere. And sometimes you can even buy them from your car manufacturer. They'll actually sell them to you. But nevertheless, all of those, as far as I know, council car parks, they don't have the cables with them. You'll actually have to bring your own cable, but it's still free charging. And of course, that's thank you to the local councils that do that. Now, examples of some of those councils in Sydney, for example, you've got the City of Sydney Goulburn Street, the one in King's Cross, you've got Randwick, you've got Coogee, you've got Kensington. These are all located, of course, in the city areas, and I'm focusing on that. I actually live in the suburbs, away, a little bit away from Sydney city, about 35 minutes drive. But even in my locations, there's many free charging systems you can find, and I'll discuss that later on in this episode. So that's point 2, council car parks. Tip number 3, hotels, tourist locations, and universities. Now, if you've got kids that are going to university, for example, you can give them an EV and they can go to university free if you've got solar and you charge your car through solar. They can go to university for free. They can charge your car and I'm sure that it's definitely the parents' car that they're driving when they're going to university, that's fine. But they'll be able to charge your car at the university for free and bring it back to you with hopefully more of a charge than when it left. You've also got hotels, you've also got tourist hotspots. Now, I've explained previously in different videos, different road trips I've taken, all the resorts I go to now have EV chargers and they're totally free to use. They usually use those Tesla chargers, which are fine. I mean, they work with any actual vehicle, but they're not specific to Tesla. They're just the Tesla branded charging systems. Now, you can leave those things overnight charging your vehicle. Go there at night, plug it in, wake up in the morning, do your enjoyment, fun-filled days at the holiday spot, come back, straight back into the car park, and charge your car again until the next morning and rinse and repeat. Basically free charging at those hotels. Tourist hotspots, that's another point. For example, when I was going on the way to Port Macquarie, there's usually information centre stops where you can go in and get some road maps and stuff. Not that you need road maps anymore because everything has a GPS these days, but you'll get, tourist guides and things like that you can go there. They offer free charging. Usually most of them offer free charging. You can just go there, plug in, spend your time, ask the questions you need to, like, what are the best wineries, the best, the fun things I could do, maybe strawberry picking, fruit picking, anything like that. Spend your time there asking the questions, come out, you've got extra charge in the vehicle and it's totally free. And it's something you would have done anyway. That's my point. You would have already done something like that, and while you're doing that, you can charge your car. Tip number 4 is road trip freebies. Now you may be surprised at that. I'll give you an example. When NRMA first released its public charging network, especially in New South Wales, and NRMA is a road service provider for international viewers. If you have broken down, give them a call. They come and get you back on the road or tow you back home if you really need to. So other states have similar things like RACQ, and that's in Victoria, and so forth. Now, they all essentially work under the same system where they help road users that are in need. Now, NRMA, for example, when it started to release its charging network, it offered free charging to all EVs, to all the public, irrespective of whether you were an NRMA member or not. And they offered that, I think, for 6 months. And then they closed it off to only paying NRMA members. So if you had a road service or a NRMA insurance policy with them, they would offer that to, or the free charging. And this is on their DC chargers, by the way. And they were, at that time, typically 50 kilowatt chargers. And they would offer that completely free. Now, of course, that would have to go through the NRMA app at the time, and then they migrated a lot of that stuff to ChargeFox, and ChargeFox is essentially owned by NRMA and RACV and all these other insurance companies and road service providers. So then you would just need one app, irrespective of which state you were in, and you could find those free charging systems for those road service insurance companies and suppliers. So that was initial, and of course now they charge. And NRMA, when I look at the NRMA chargers, when I went on the road trip, they're not as expensive as all the other charging systems. So when you look at EV chargers or Teslas or all these other ones that you find on the way, NRMA is actually quite cheap in comparison to them. And of course they give you discounts if you're a member. They give you 5% or 5 cents off or things like that if you're a member of the NRMA. So freebies on road trips. Now, yes, they don't offer this anymore, but I'll give you an example. Another one is the Queensland Electric Superhighway. Now, what the government has done is it's installed a bunch of superchargers along the Bruce Highway. And this is, for example, in Cooroy, Rockhampton, Townsville and Cairns. And all of this at the moment is completely free for the people that use that route. And that is the main road. It's a huge road going up essentially the coast of Queensland. Completely free. So if you're an EV driver at the moment, you don't have to pay a cent when you're going up and down that way. Or let's say, for example, if I'm headed from New South Wales into Queensland, it's a very long drive, of course, but I'll only pay for the component within New South Wales. The rest, it'll be totally free once I hit the Queensland border and across into the Bruce Highway. So these things happen. It won't be forever like that, of course, but for the moment, you get a freebie on these massive road trips. That was the end of episode 2. Now, I hope you learned something from that. And if I've missed anything, or after you've watched the series, if you think I've missed anything that you know of a free charger somewhere or a free charging system somewhere, please leave a comment, let others know. It will really help our community of EV drivers. So if you really like this episode, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, Share this content with someone who'd enjoy it or someone who's potentially going to buy an EV car. This will give them a lot of ideas and a lot of potential to actually perform charging on their car. Or just leave us a comment and just say thank you. It all really helps. Until episode 3, I hope to see you there. Bye for now.